In 2022, NASA announced something historic. We had officially confirmed more than 5,000 exoplanets, worlds orbiting distant stars far beyond our solar system. But here's the part that no one tells you. Not all of these alien worlds are beautiful. Earth-like paradises. Some of them are nightmares made real. Planets so extreme they defy science, where oceans burn, storms rage at impossible speeds, and even light itself seems to vanish. The deeper astronomers look into the galaxy, the more they find planets that shouldn't even exist. These aren't science fiction. They're real, and today, we're diving into the most terrifying exoplanets ever discovered, worlds that rewrite the rules of reality. Imagine a planet so massive it makes Jupiter look tiny. That's HD 106906b, a gas giant more than 11 times heavier than Jupiter, orbiting a star in a system 336 light-years away. But here's the haunting part. Its orbit makes no sense. This world is so far from its star that it takes 13,500 years just to complete a single orbit. To put it in perspective, if you started walking when this planet began 1 year, by the time it finished, humanity would have gone from cave paintings to smartphones. It sits 650 times farther from its star than Earth is from the Sun, a distance so vast, astronomers can't explain how it even formed there. Some scientists think it might have been flung out by another star long ago, trapped in a lonely, unstable path. In other words, HD 106906b isn't just a planet. It's a cosmic castaway, a monster drifting on the edge of its system, defying everything we thought we knew about planetary science. And yet, this is only the beginning. Travel about 42 light-years away, and you'll find a planet that sounds like paradise until you look closer. GJ 1214b is a world completely covered by ocean. No land, no continents, just endless water stretching in every direction. It's about 3 times the size of Earth, but here's the unsettling truth. Its oceans plunge to depths of 1,600 kilometers. Compare that to the Mariana Trench on Earth, the deepest spot in our oceans, which is only 11 kilometers deep. These waters go so far down that the crushing pressure could create exotic forms of ice never seen on Earth, locking strange ices beneath boiling hot seas. For years, scientists have wondered, could life exist there? Maybe, but it would be nothing like us. Imagine creatures born in eternal darkness, adapted to survive under pressures that would crush a submarine like paper. GJ 1214b shows us that water worlds exist, but they may be less like a tropical paradise and more like an endless, alien abyss. Now, let's leave the oceans behind and step into fire itself. These are the so-called lava planets, worlds locked so close to their stars that their surfaces are oceans of molten rock. Take K2 141b. On one side, it's locked in eternal daylight with magma seas hundreds of miles deep. Temperatures reach 5,400 Fahrenheit on the day side, while the night side plunges to -392 Fahrenheit. One half burns, the other freezes, forever locked in a violent contrast. Then there's Koro T7b, where rivers of lava flow like glowing veins across its surface. Temperatures swing from blistering heat to frigid cold as it orbits so close to its star that its very rocks are vaporized into the atmosphere. And Kepler 10 may be the most brutal of all. Orbiting only 560 light-years away, it's a rocky planet turned into a permanent lava sea. Any atmosphere it once had has long been stripped away, leaving behind nothing but a glowing, molten wasteland. These worlds prove that hellscapes exist in reality. Places where stone turns liquid, air turns toxic, and the very ground itself is alive with fire. But even among these fire worlds, some planets are stranger still. Not all terrifying planets are defined by fire or water. Some are dangerous because of their orbits, like HR 5183b, a gas giant with one of the most bizarre paths ever discovered. This planet takes 74 years to complete one trip around its star, almost an entire human lifetime. But it doesn't move in a neat, circular path like Earth. Instead, it swings wildly, diving close to its star before slingshotting back out to the system's edge. If HR 5183b were in our solar system, its orbit would take it as close as Jupiter, then fling it all the way out near Neptune, covering the span of the outer solar system. Astronomers call it a cosmic wrecking ball because its chaotic gravity could destabilize other planets, tearing apart any system unlucky enough to orbit nearby. It's not just weird, it's dangerous. Now imagine a planet that still glows like a dying ember. That's GJ504b, discovered in 2013, orbiting a bright star in the constellation Virgo. This world is 4 times bigger than Jupiter. But here's the eerie part. It's young, only about 160 million years old. In cosmic terms, that makes it a baby. And because it's still fresh from formation, it glows with a magenta hue, a strange cherry blossom color in the infrared spectrum. Looking at it would be like staring at a giant burning coal floating in space. And astronomers aren't even sure if it's truly a planet. With 14 times Jupiter's mass, it might actually be a failed star, what we call a brown dwarf. Planets like GJ504b blur the line between worlds and stars. They remind us that the universe doesn't care about our definitions. It creates monsters that don't fit in neat categories, glowing, burning giants that exist somewhere between life and death. And that's only half the story. Because the deeper we go, the stranger and darker these planets become. From worlds of burning ice, to places where even light disappears, to planets that orbit the remains of dead stars themselves. But before we get there, let's pause, because what comes next makes these first 5 look almost tame. Imagine standing on a world where the very ground beneath your feet sparkles. That's 55 Cancri E, a planet twice the size of Earth, locked so close to its star that a year lasts only 18 hours. But here's the insane part. Scientists believe its interior is loaded with carbon. Under the crushing heat and pressure, that carbon could crystallize into diamonds, billions upon billions of carats, an entire planet made of glittering stone. Of course, no one's mining this treasure anytime soon. Temperatures reach 4,900 Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt metal. Any spacecraft that got close would vaporize in seconds. But the idea is still haunting. Somewhere out there is a world of unimaginable wealth, shining like a cursed jewel in the void. And if that wasn't strange enough, another planet makes 55 Cancri E look almost ordinary. At first glance, HD 1-89733b looks like Earth. It's a deep blue world, orbiting just 64 light-years away. But don't let that color fool you. This planet isn't blue because of oceans. It's blue because of silicate particles high in its atmosphere. And those particles fall as glass rain. Picture shards of glass slicing sideways through the atmosphere at hurricane force, shredding anything caught in the storm. It's not just dangerous, it's apocalyptic. HD 189733b proves that beauty in space can be lethal. What looks like a sapphire paradise from afar is, up close, a nightmare of flying blades. But even glass rain isn't the most terrifying weather the universe can throw at us. Some planets shine bright, others vanish into the void. Trace 2b, discovered in 2011, is the darkest planet ever found. It reflects less than 1% of the light that hits it. To compare, coal reflects about 4%. This planet is literally darker than asphalt. If you were nearby, you wouldn't even see it. You'd just see its star and then a patch of nothing, like reality had been erased. Scientists think its atmosphere is filled with vaporized sodium, potassium, or even metallic gases that absorb almost all light. But the truth is, no one knows for sure. It's as if the planet itself is swallowing starlight, hiding in plain sight. A place where light goes to die, and yet there's a world even stranger than this. A planet that circles a star that's no longer alive. In 1992, astronomers found something that didn't even seem possible. Planets orbiting a pulsar, the dead, collapsed remains of a massive star that exploded in a supernova. One of them is called PSRB 1257 plus 12b. Imagine living there. Your sun isn't a glowing yellow star, it's a neutron star, blasting deadly radiation across space in beams that spin like a lighthouse. These planets shouldn't exist. A supernova should have obliterated everything around it. Yet somehow, fragments of matter came together again in the wreckage, forming new worlds around the corpse of a dead star. They're called zombie planets because they were born in death, circling something that should have destroyed them. A reminder that even in cosmic endings, new horrors can emerge. Finally, we come to a planet that's literally being torn apart before our eyes. WASP 12b is a gas giant orbiting so close to its star that a year lasts just one Earth day. The gravity is so intense that the planet has been stretched into the shape of an egg. But here's the terrifying part. It's slowly being devoured. The star is pulling the planet's atmosphere into itself, ripping away millions of tons of gas every second. Scientists believe that in a few million years, WASP 12b will be completely gone, consumed by the very star it orbits. It's a death sentence written into the fabric of its orbit. A world living on borrowed time, being destroyed piece by piece. When we look at the stars, we often imagine peaceful worlds, maybe even Earth-like twins waiting for us to discover them. But the truth is far darker. Out there are oceans of fire, storms of glass, planets that shine like diamonds, and worlds so dark they erase light itself. Each of these exoplanets challenges what we thought was possible, reminding us that the universe isn't built for our comfort, it's built on extremes. And here's the unsettling thought. These are just the ones we've found so far. Thousands more are waiting in the shadows, each with secrets stranger and more terrifying than the last. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember this. Among those stars are worlds where fire reigns, oceans boil, and even light cannot survive. And we've only just begun to uncover their mysteries.